I'll be doing a series, primarily shorts, but I want to lead off with a full video here for you. But I'll be doing a series on mindfulness meditation and how it can help with stress, anxiety, all different things, all different topics, okay? Feel free to add your questions below this first video. So I'm starting off, it'll probably be 28 days, not 30, and it's going to run up till right before my Soulful Mindfulness program begins, which is October 5th. So do check that out. I thought this was a good segue into that. So what I did was I asked ChatGPT, what are the most common questions asked about meditation, mindfulness, stress, anxiety, and as they relate together? And so for Black folks, the first question that came up, according to ChatGPT, was, according to the AI, was, can meditation help heal racial trauma? So I thought I would start off there, and obviously that needs more than a 1 minute short, right? It doesn't need a new YouTube Shorts, it needs a longer video. So I'm gonna share with you from my experience. When I began meditating when I went to college, that was really where I started in earnest. You know, as a Black girl coming from the Bronx, right? Pretty much in the South Bronx, I went to a college that was predominantly white, very, very wealthy, so wealthy, you know, first day Jaguars, which I had never seen in person, right? The car type, a Jaguar, went by and I was like, oh my God, it's so beautiful. You know, girls from international, like from the Middle East, wearing rings, like sapphire rings that look like candy. They were like so big. So I started meditating at that college. Now, the thing is, I wouldn't have said to you, this is back in the day, people, and, you know, oh, I have racial trauma, you know. No, all I knew was I was really, really stressed. All right. And I also want to go there in that you know, as a minority in that school, racially, but also economically. Right? As I told you, I did not have a sapphire or an emerald that was the size of like a rock, you know, like a literal like stone. And so I came from, you know, working class background and scored very, very well on my SAT tests. And so I was an effort by the academy this was before all the uproar and the backlash. They knew they needed diversity because it wasn't happening naturally. And I did perfectly well there, you know, against women it was a women's college, who had, you know, private schooling and just like the best. So obviously I would be under a lot of stress, and I was stressed before getting to the college, all right? Suffered from anxiety, depression, you know, difficulties in the home. Suffice to say, my parents didn't, for instance, drive me to the college. You know, I was the first one to attend college in my entire family, like ever. So I'm there in a very difficult, you know, not so much difficult for me because, as I said, I just went in it like kind of like, oh, you know, with very much an immigrant mindset, like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to go for it. So I wasn't thinking, oh, I have racialized trauma, but I had tremendous stress growing up, alcoholism in the home, all of that. Even though I, you know, did not have a broken home, mom and dad were there, but a lot of trauma, drama, and all of that. So that's when I began meditating. Okay. And so that, just to give you a little background of why I think I can speak about this, meditation can absolutely help heal racial trauma. There's so many different ways, but the primary way is that as you learn how to practice mindfulness style meditation specifically, it gives you the tools to deal with upsetting emotions, upsetting thoughts, even physical sensations that are disturbing. You basically, through the practice and through proper guidance, learn how to and develop strength so that something that previously would have felt really upsetting becomes less and less so. And you're able to almost withstand more, or like withstand the same, but with less effect on your persona, on yourself, right? So it's really a beautiful practice. And so it can absolutely be part of your toolkit. Now, it wouldn't be the only thing, but I believe, especially for Black and Brown folks, learning to meditate, and specifically mindfulness, which is a group of practices, can really help to strengthen you, give you more inner strength, inner resilience, and ability to cope. Like it just does that. And the analogy I have, you know how if you're a new athlete, imagine someone who's training and they really want to get good. They want to run a marathon or something like that. Initially, they may be a little flabby. They don't have strength. They don't have cardiovascular ability. And if they train and train and train, you start to see their body shift, right? They get more muscles. They may get a little bigger. Their lung capacity increases. And you can measure how much better they can do whatever it is, whether it's the shot put or, I don't know, sprinting or whatever they're doing, or weightlifting, powerlifting. In the same way, as you practice mindfulness, you will develop inner strength that will then have a profound effect on your life. And so the outer, systemic racism and systemic forces that are acting on you are still there, but you are stronger. It's almost like a rock, like you're just more resilient, and have more capacity. And it also helps you think more clearly. Absolutely, I am not just making this up, because you'll learn how to see the thoughts that come up, and what's behind them. All of that, like I said, is going to give you so much more strength and capacity to then heal older traumas. And let's take it to not just racial trauma, but any sort of trauma. Because while I have many, many viewers who are, they're mostly in America, most of you guys, right? I have many viewers from India for some reason, probably just because India is so big and I do speak on some spiritual topics. But, there's colorism there, or there's gender issues in all countries, really, where maybe there's more abuse of women, physical abuse, sexual abuse. So all of that, the one caveat I want to say, the one time meditation wouldn't be good if you're actively in like acute stress and you're living with the trauma. Then it would be very hard to meditate. So let's use the example of, say you have an abusive husband or partner. It'd be very hard then for you to come and study meditation with me under those conditions. So it can help heal any sort of trauma when you're a bit removed from the trauma, or you're able to go about your day, you're dealing with stuff, but it's not acute stress for you. Does that make sense? It's not, you're not in a situation that you literally should leave as the first step, right? And then learn meditation and then practice meditation. Does that make sense? Again, with the analogy of, say, an abusive partner, if you come home and you're living with someone who may hit you at any time, it's going to be very hard for you to do any sort of meditation in that situation, okay? So meditation, specifically mindfulness, can help with any sort of trauma, given the limitations that I stated. And I think most of my viewers hopefully are not in that acute a situation. So I'm saying it absolutely can help heal racial trauma. And it helped me, as I said, at this institution. And there were little things that happened. Nothing horrible happened while I was there. And as I said, I brought in this baggage of trauma with me from also childhood, like we all do, right? Parental stresses, being an immigrant coming into the country, being poor, all of that. And meditation was very, very helpful for me. And that's why I gravitated towards it. So I just want to invite you I'm going to put the link below to my program. It's online, so you can be anywhere in the world. It is for women. And I'm going to say here, it is, Black and brown women, but I'm leaving it open to any woman who wants to attend. I think we have more in common as women than not. And of course, if they're taking the program, there's someone who likes my content and would be comfortable in the group. But so I invite you to check it out. We do start October 5th. If you have questions, put them below. Like I said, I'll be doing quick, 1-minute videos for 28 days where I answer different questions, mostly what ChatGPT has told me are the most common questions, all right? But put your human questions, like coming directly from a human, put them below and I will respond to them. And I look forward to seeing you inside Soulful Mindfulness, which is my multi-week program and community where you really learn these tools of how to meditate, how to work with the mind, the feelings, thoughts, all of that. All right, much love. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.